So welcome everybody who's joined us on Zoom so far, and welcome everybody who's on Facebook. A recording of this forum will be available on YouTube and Instagram and everything probably later tonight after we're finished. But I just wanted to welcome everybody officially who's watching. Welcome, welcome. This is our NAMI virtual forum. And NAMI, in case you don't know, is the National Alliance on Mental Illness. We are the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization dedicated to improving the lives of individuals and families affected by mental health conditions. And here in Bucks County, we are your voice on mental health. And my name is Nick Amy. I'm the Director of Outreach and Development. And we are fortunate tonight to welcome Jennifer Green of Alpha Bravo Canine. And she is joining us from Philadelphia this evening. And we're kind of neighbors here in Bucks County. So I'm going to take this down so we can see each other a little bit better. And I am going to tell you just a bit more about who Jennifer is. She has a lot of credentials. So Jennifer, if I stumble over any of the abbreviations, forgive me. And everybody who is, by the way, not on video is hidden from the screen. So we can't see you if you're not on video. So if you want to be on, by all means, please come on. So a little bit about Jennifer Green. She is the founder and director of training of Alpha Bravo Canine. And Jennifer was born and raised in Philadelphia. She is a certified professional dog trainer through the Certification Council for Professional Dog Trainers, or the CCPDTKA. She's a member of the Association of Professional Dog Trainers, as well as an AKC CGC evaluator. Jennifer is the director of training and trains all the dogs in the program and works with the puppy raising coordinator as well as the puppy raisers' families. Previously, she was the lead trainer with a prison dog training program and has volunteered with her local shelters, was part of a team creating a behavior program at a local SPCA, and volunteered with local rescues. Jennifer works with clients to create and build their bond with their dog through positive reinforcement training. Through a combination of dog training and working with veterans with post-deployment disabilities, she works with veterans to lead a productive and independent life with the aid of a service dog. And if you wanted to look this all up on the internet or make a contribution to Alpha Bravo Canine while you're watching this, please do so by going to alphabravocanine.org. And with that, I'm going to let some of the folks in who've just joined us as well. So if you're just joining us, welcome. I'm about to hand it over to Jennifer Green. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Nick. I really appreciate it. It's great to be here. A little bit about Alpha Bravo Canine and why it was started. Alpha Bravo Canine was founded in 2015. It was based out of a need within our own community. The one thing, I was born and raised in Philadelphia. We have no service dog organizations in the area. I founded this organization honestly, based on a need of not having anything around us. I am a military wife as well as a military mother. So PTSD affects the whole family, not just a veteran or not just somebody who is going through the PTSD. So it was important for me as somebody actually on the other side, in addition to wanting to help our veterans, which was the basis of starting the organization. One of the biggest things with service dogs, I'm going to kind of explain a little bit about service dogs versus therapy dogs and emotional support dogs also. Service dogs are meant for people that have a diagnosed disability, and they are there to mitigate the disability. They have public access rights. They are allowed to go anywhere that their disabled person goes. Emotional support dogs are pet dogs that do not need any training. I know there's a lot of emotional support dogs out in the public They don't have any public access though. And even though there are a lot of emotional support dogs out there, they have no right to be in grocery stores and different stores like that because they are pets. Therapy dogs are used to go and visit people at different facilities, so they also don't have public access rights. A service dog is the only one that is truly fully trained to work with somebody with a disability, and they can go anywhere that's public with their person. I know there's a lot of confusion about that, so I just wanted to, just kind of let everybody know what the difference was between the three types of dogs. One of the other things is, I think we take a lot of things for granted on why do we need service dogs for PTSD? How do service dogs actually, how do they make a difference in a veteran's life? One of the things that we take for granted are normal daily activities. There are people out there that have social anxiety where they can't go out in public and they need a dog to assist them. There are, dogs are trained to pick up different triggers that a person does. A trigger could be different sounds, noises, things like that. And people do things that sometimes they're not even realizing that they're doing. They could twitch, they could blink their eyes, they could make a noise, they could shake a leg, or move anything really. Dogs are taught to pick that up, redirect the person, and kind of move them forward. So there's so many different things that a service dog can do. All the dogs within Alpha Bravo Canine are customized to what the veteran needs. So just because one person is diagnosed with PTSD, it doesn't mean that the next person that has it has the same exact thing that they're going through. So everything is really customized. We have nightmare disruption, we have medication reminders, you name it, the dogs can be trained to actually do it. One of our campaigns that we are trying to also bring light to is 22 veterans committing suicide on a daily basis because they feel like they don't have any type of support or enough support. Service dogs are meant to change that. It gives a veteran a little bit more independence. It is a part of a treatment plan, but it gives a person their independence back, where somebody would be confined to their house, not wanting to go anywhere. That service dog actually would, it kind of puts them on their own schedule to, I have to get out and about with the dog. I have to do training with the dog, but it encourages us to be more interactive within our own community as well. So that's some of the basic things with what service dogs are doing for our veterans. We are now in our 6th year and we are moving forward. We have several dogs that are in our training program now. Every year we bring in new dogs and we are training the dogs. We are looking to place the dogs with local veterans as well. We do a lot of training in Bucks County. We're always in Bucks County. Even though it's a Philadelphia organization, the majority of our training is actually done right here in Bucks County, which is nice. Well, I think I lost something there, sorry. Is there any questions so far?
The only question was, would you ever consider having an organization like this to train service dogs for non-veterans? So far, that's the question.
Yeah, I mean, our mission is to support veterans, and that's what we're doing. If somebody had a disability that they were not a veteran, I would refer them to a reputable organization that actually would work with them for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
One other question, how do the dogs do the medication reminders?
Everything that we do in dog training is through repetition and consistency. So, we teach our dogs to, number one, we do something at the same time every single day, and we integrate the medication along with that. Dogs have an excellent memory of positive things. So that's how we actually start it. We start with every day at 4 o'clock, we're going to do something really fun for you. Once they understand, oh, every day we're doing the same exact thing, dogs will go back to what they got rewarded for the last time, whether it's, let's be honest, it's a little bit more than verbal praise. We use a lot of treat training. We use toy training and things like that. So they will go back to that every day. And then once they understand the time that we're looking for, then we integrate the actual medications. And then they start reminding, they will do a nudge, or it depends on the person what they prefer, but normally we would do like a little nudge on the hand or the leg of it's time. And then, that's how it starts.
All right. And another question from Facebook is, what do you think the largest contributing factor to preventing veteran suicide is with a service dog? Like what part of having a service dog, is it the companionship, or what do you think? And what have you seen?
I mean, from the veterans that I work with, I think one of the biggest things, nobody wants to be judged on mental illness. Nobody wants to be judged. And I think one of the most awesome things that a dog does do, they don't judge.
Mm.
They don't care what you've been through. They love you no matter what. I believe it's true unconditional love and the support. Our dogs are always by our side. They never want to leave us. So I think having that bond right there, that's what can change somebody's life, because it gives you another purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I think our purpose gets lost. And then when you bring a service dog in, it reminds you, not only do you have a purpose, now you have an additional path to walk with, and that's with your service dog.
Awesome. And other folks are wondering if you're going to talk more about the whole process of what you do and how it happens and everything.
Yeah. We bring our service dogs, puppies, into training at 8 weeks old. And it starts literally at 8 weeks old. They start training. They go through basic obedience, a lot of basic obedience, and then we start doing task training. We also do public access training. Most dogs will get placed right under 2 years old, but it could be up to 2 years. So the dogs are in our care from 8 weeks until up to 2 years old. So it's a lot of training. It's daily training. It's every single day. The training is usually between 1 and 2 hours a day. And that does not include going on public access trips as well. So it's, we have to make sure that our dogs are consistent. Our dogs are not pet dogs. So the consistency definitely has to be there. And they have to also have the follow through. So that's why we have to train so much.
I am also looking through the photos on Facebook to share later on, but we have another question. Do you have a success rate for service dogs stopping suicide? Are you able to measure that?
I mean, I think it goes back to, are our dogs and our veterans keeping engaged? I think part of this is the engagement with dogs. I think the whole part with when someone, and I'm not saying that it has never happened, it has not happened within our organization, but there's something that's being lost when it happens. So I think if the engagement with your dog is there, part of our success, I believe, is when a veteran applies for a dog with our organization, it's not just here's a dog, see you later. Our veterans have access to us forever. I mean, we're always here for them. So we have a lifelong commitment to our veterans as well as their dogs, that we are always here. We are looking for long-term relationships with anybody who gets a dog from us. So I think the engagement from the organization, we also have, we have peer support as well. We encourage all of our veterans to continue with their normal providers and their mental health care providers, because that's a part of it. Sometimes it's not just one thing, it's a combination of different types of therapy that will keep our veterans on their path that they want to continue on. So I think it's a combined therapy that will lead to the overall success and continuation of success for our veterans.
Mm-hmm. I think that's like any other mental health condition
Yeah.
too, or anybody else. I mean, it's, mental health is such a part of our overall existence that it's hard it's hard to say that one thing is the deciding factor between living and not, recovery and not, it's a lot of things. So I think that might be hard to measure too. So on the flip side of that, do you have like a favorite success story?
It's hard to choose. It's like, how do you choose between your children, right?
Yeah.
I think every one of them is my favorite. I'm not going to choose because it's not fair. Every one of them who has accepted a dog into their life and they continue to grow with their dog, to me, that is success right there. Bonds don't happen right away. Relationships don't happen right away. Most times it usually will take people and their dogs about 6 months, at least 6 months to a year, to really develop that bond. So I think after you start seeing that really deep-rooted bond, they're all successes at that point, for sure.
I hear you. So I'm going to share a picture, and I don't know if you could tell us who this is. Here, there, I'll put Facebook up. Don't mind how many tabs I have open.
Yeah.
We're planning something, so I have a ton of tabs open. So who's this guy?
That's Stryker on Chestnut Street in Philadelphia.
Awesome. And is he a service dog that is in your family, or is he one that you trained?
So Stryker is a dog that's in training to work with our veterans.
Okay.
He's our demo dog. So he's our demo dog in training, meaning we need, when veterans come in and someone says, what can a service dog do for me? I just get it. And then you can demonstrate what, Stryker will demonstrate different things that service dogs can do. And I think sometimes when you see it in person, it gives you a whole different perspective than just talking about it.
I agree. Is there anything that you can tell us about, how a veteran decides to choose a dog, or does the dog choose them, or how does that work?
The dog actually will choose the veteran. We've had people come in and say, I think I like that dog. And that dog doesn't know that they're in the room. So, it happens. It definitely happens. So when our dogs are at a point where they're ready to meet veterans, we'll have a veteran come in, they'll meet dogs at different times, and then I kind of watch their interaction. I give them time to themselves to just be with each other, just to see how they're interacting. And then I usually let them know what I saw. And sometimes it takes them a little time to see it, but I'm very good at matching dogs with people. We've been spot on every single time. It's a combination of a couple of different things. It's, it's how they interact in person. It's lifestyle. There's a lot of different things involved with matching a dog with a person,
Mm.
and what their needs are too.
Mm-hmm. Someone wants to know how long it takes to train a dog. Do you do that after you match them or before, or how does that work out?
Yeah, I mean, normally, so they'll start at 8 weeks and, can go up to 2 years. Once a veteran has been matched with a dog, it's usually at least 30 hours of training that they would get. It's 30 hours of initial training, and then we also do public access training. And, they also would go through a certification. So once a veteran has done training with the dog, then once they're done that, they would have to pass a test. It's just called public access testing. So we would go through the test. The person would have to pass with their dog and show that they're actually working as a team. And then after they're done that, then they graduate. Service dogs are recertified every 2 years, or they're certified twice every year. And then after that for 2 years. And then after that, it's once a year. We want to make sure that the bond is continuing. Dogs never lie. So we also know, is the person actually working with the dog as well. So, that's another thing that we look for too. And it's important to kind of keep that engagement going as well. So having a dog test it twice a year for 2 years is actually a good thing. Because it also keeps us engaged with them too.
Yeah. And I did not know that. So I am pretty sure that a lot of folks watching didn't know that either. How it's costly to do this. What's and you donate these animals to the veteran.
We donate.
So how much does that cost, and how do you manage it?
Service dog training for up to 2 years can cost up to $30,000 per dog. It's expensive. We fundraise year round to be able to donate to our veterans. It's important to us to be able to donate them. We're not here to make money off of veterans. We're here to help them live a more independent life. So the donation is very important. I mean, it's very costly. And when I tell you we fundraise year round, we reach out to different companies even with products that we use to see if we can get donations. Any way that we're able to offset any type of cost, we always ask for donations, even of products. We have an Amazon wish list also of different things that we use. Sometimes people just like to donate tangible products. Awesome as well. So yeah, it's up there.
I mean, it's, I don't think people fully understand, what it means that you donate a dog to a veteran unless they know exactly how much goes into it and how much it costs. So
yeah, I mean, I think if you think about even, the cost of a dog, we work with a reputable breeder who understands the quality and the temperament of the dogs that we need. And who takes that integrity of that dog and really puts out amazing dogs. So, it's everything from the cost of the animal, the veterinarian bills, the products that we use for them, all of their gear, and all of the training and everything that goes along with it. It definitely adds up.
It definitely does.
Yeah.
And like we were talking about, we do we have a veterans support group, we have a veterans class, and then we do our veterans walk in the fall every year, the March for the 22. So this year, we don't keep that money necessarily at NAMI. We use it for some of our veterans programs, but we donate the rest to other organizations. So this year, it would be great if everyone participated. You'll be at our stride too, but
Yes.
if everybody participated in the March for the 22 this year, so that we can help bring you some donations to help out.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Cost, yeah, absolutely. Because we have people asking, um, what would your recommendation be if they don't say whether this is a son or a spouse or whatever, but a family member could benefit from a service dog, but doesn't seem to be at a place in recovery to be receptive to one?
And that's really an important question, actually. You have to be in a place where you can accept a dog into your life.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping that therapy going, a lot of people need inpatient care, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people do outpatient care. And I think it's based on what that person actually needs. Um, Service dogs are not meant to take the place of that part of therapy. It's important that they continue to do that. Being in a stable home is also a part of this.
Mm.
So part of our application process is you have to be in a stable home for at least a year, at least a year. But if you're not ready with yourself, it's not fair to bring an animal into the home. So
Mm-hmm.
suggestion is continuing with therapy and working through things where the stability is there.
Mm-hmm. Would you ever consider, you know, giving a dog to a veteran who may have a home, may be in treatment, but just is struggling so badly that maybe they can't get to you yet to come out to the facility to meet a dog or anything? I know in our groups and everything, and depending upon where somebody is or how long they've been home, they may be struggling more than others. So is there any situation where you'd consider, helping a veteran out by kind of meeting them where they are? And have you ever seen a dog like bring a veteran back to a good place almost, I don't know, instantly? That's the image I have in my head, is you introduce a dog to a veteran and then they, come to life a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the nice thing about this is if a veteran can't get to us, absolutely, we would work with the veteran on what they were able to do. And that's the nice thing about it. It's not everything's not in black and white as far as you must be here. If a veteran can't be here, we would go to them for sure. And yes, I'll give you one example of changing a life. When somebody calls and says, I haven't left my house in 6 years,
Mm.
and this is a veteran that I worked with in the very beginning of founding the organization. I have not left my house in 6 years. I would like to, but I'm afraid. I just can't do it. I just can't go out in public. Worked with him and his dog for a while. He called me one day and he said, I want to go out and buy clothes today.
Oh.
And it was one of those moments where, I had tears in my eyes because, he made a conscious decision to, it may not sound like a lot to some people, but it was huge for him. He wanted to go out and I walked him through it of, this is what we're doing. This is what we've been working for. And this is rely on your dog and you can do this. You can do it. He went out into the store that day and he actually bought clothes.
Ah.
He can buy them online. He can, do things like that. But to go out and be a part of your own community, that's what matters, So
Well,
it changed his life.
it absolutely does.
Yeah.
And here's a picture of Lando in the dressing room.
Shopping. Yes.
He's shopping.
Yeah. He's waiting. He's in the waiting room. And I love that picture. That was the one with the that one. Yeah, that's Striker myself. And it's one of those things where it's, this is, there's a lot of people that don't like to drive. And how awesome is it to, have a dog that's, hey, I'm here. It's okay. We're out together. let's do this. So that, and he was in a restraint, believe it or not. Yeah, that's him giving support on the road.
That's adorable. And this is him in the park.
Just
Oh,
working on different surfaces and things like that, which is really good. Surfaces, it's important that our dogs understand that different textures and surfaces are very important, and they're not hesitant when walking on anything. So
mhm.
try, and even small spaces as well. So that's one of the exercises that we were doing in that picture there.
Awesome. And he has a harness on and a vest, and I know these say not to touch them. So
Yeah,
some people don't know why. So can you explain that? Do you mind?
sure. So, technically, according to ADA, we don't need to put vests on our dogs. It's not a requirement that a dog
Right.
wear a vest. However, I think it's a good idea to alert the public this dog is actually working.
Mhm.
Some people understand that they're not allowed to pet a dog, and usually when they accidentally pet a dog, it's right where it says do not pet. Petting a dog it'll just distract them, and it can allow them to get to a point where they miss something from their person. So if somebody is struggling out and about, that's Adam and Charlie, one of our veterans that was placed with a dog. And that was actually during a recertification a few weeks ago. Talking to a dog is just as distracting as petting a dog. And a lot of times when our puppies are in training, it takes them time to get back on the path again of, yeah, we're actually working right now. So it's important that our dogs don't miss things when they're being distracted by other people.
Right. And that's important if, if anybody lives with any kind of a mental health condition or a physical health condition, you know how important it is to attend to those needs that come up. And who's this?
Yeah, that's Mike and Cooper.
That's the video that I shared earlier, right?
Yeah.
I love that. I love that video.
Yeah, they're a great team.
They seem to be.
This day we were practicing.
Oh.
Striker's nose. That was actually deep pressure therapy. That's our view when we're doing deep pressure therapy for anxiety. That's the view that we have when we're doing it. But the picture before that, things like going up steps and things like that, it's one of those things that has to be very, very controlled, because if somebody has any type of instability, whether they're walking with any type of device, or just has different medical conditions where they're not stable, we can't have our dogs pulling out. So working on steps like this is super important as well.
Mm. And can you talk about what this is again?
Deep pressure therapy is when a dog actually there's a couple of different ways that we can do it. Either lay their body across somebody's lap, they can lay their body across their chest, and it's when you are going through any type of panic, anxiety, any type of anything in that type of situation, the dog literally just puts all of their pressure on you and just lays there until you start breathing normally and are calm again. So it's an amazing thing to watch, actually.
That is. I think
Yeah.
we should all take a field trip out to see it. And you train a dog to do that.
Yes.
That's pretty amazing. So what else can they do as far as like mitigating mental health symptoms that come up?
If somebody, there's so many different things that people do.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it, if somebody a lot of times people will blink right before they start feeling extra anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
Some people fiddle with their fingers. Some people will shake their leg or shake their arm. That's actually our very first service dog that we placed. That's Frank and Lydia. Um, there's so many different things that we do, and sometimes we don't realize it. And this is usually during the interview process is when I ask people, what are things that you do? And if they don't know, we involve their either their close family or friends that they choose to participate in this. I'll ask them as well, what do they do right before something is about to happen? And usually they also are a great indicator. That's that's Dennis and Oscar. And, Oscar and Dennis are a prime example of, walking with different devices and learning how to keep the gait of your person instead of just exploring like normal dogs do. Yeah.
Awesome. So as far as, the specifics of, PTSD for veterans, I mean, is there any instance of something that the dog that can do that you think is most powerful?
I mean, I think there's a couple of different things. I think that service dogs are not meant just to be companions, but it's also a big part of giving that type of support in conjunction with becoming a team with somebody. Becoming a team with somebody. I think the most important part of a service dog and their handler is the team. That's the most important part of this.
I agree. And
relying on each other, basically.
I agree. Is this Lori's service dog?
This is Lori and service dog Luke.
Awesome. And Lori is the one who introduced us. So that Lori's the reason that we're doing this tonight. So thank you, Lori.
Thank you, Lori.
So is this the training? Is this your facility or?
This is our borrowed space that we have, and this is actually our junior. We just started a junior training volunteers. So we have their high school students, and once a month they come in. We just had our second session tonight. Once a month they'll come in and they'll actually work with the dogs, which is really awesome. So it gives our junior volunteers something awesome to do because they're actually helping the dogs. It allows the dogs to work with different people. Sometimes dogs get very excited around young people and kids. So it's a wonderful opportunity for our dogs to kind of work through different things. But more importantly, it's a great opportunity for them to work with a variety of people because it also helps with transitioning into their new home. So they don't get so used to just one person.
And so that's another way that folks can help out is, and how do they apply on your website or how do they do that?
They applied right on our website. There's a form just for volunteers.
Okay.
Definitely.
Awesome. So if you're watching and you would like to help out and maybe you can't afford a donation or something, so your time is also important. I need to meet Stryker. I have.
He's a character. Trust me.
I do.
He's a good boy.
I'm sure he is. So how many service dogs have you trained is a question that just came up. How many?
So we have graduated 8 teams so far. And we're very proud of that at this point. Sometimes not all dogs are meant to be service dogs. And as much as we want them to be a service dog, it ultimately comes down to the dog. Do they want to do this as a full-time job? Do they want to do this on a part-time job? Or is it not necessarily for them? So we've had a couple of dogs that have been taken out of the program for a variety of reasons. you know, we had one dog who injured his leg, and the recovery time was just way too long to continue in the program. But then we've had dogs that have gone into two of our dogs actually are going into doing therapy work. So they're going to go visit veterans, and so they'll be servicing in a different way, just not in a full-time capacity, which I think is really nice too.
That's awesome. We have a friend, our friend Dave Gabel. He has a therapy dog who visits folks at Brookland Hospital and Horsham
That's
Clinic.
nice.
So that's needed too. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
And
It's a great stress reliever.
There was another question, and I'm looking at this. I forget where the other question was. You don't, if you're watching on Facebook, you don't have to message me, Nick, directly. You can comment. I forget where the question. Oh, it was the same question we got the last time we did a forum too. People want to be nosy, and they want to know a little bit more about you and being a wife and a mom of vets and everything. So what's that like, and is that why you started doing this?
It actually is. You know, PTSD affects our veterans as well as civilians, but you know, the one thing about PTSD or any type of disability, it not only affects the one person, it affects the whole family.
Mhm.
You know, yeah, that is definitely one of the reasons why I started it. I think it's needed. I definitely think it's needed. So,
Mhm.
you know, even though the service dog works for just one person, it makes big changes within the family when that support is there. So yeah, I definitely started it because of my own experiences, but also experiences of other families that I know that were also in similar situations as well as worse situations that they were dealing with.
Mhm. And do any of your loved ones have service dogs?
Yes, definitely. We have one service dog that's currently working within the family. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I
That
need
was during another recertification.
I need to meet Stryker. You
Yeah.
have to bring Stryker to the stride.
That one yeah. The one picture right before that one right there, that was an advertisement for, we're looking for puppy raisers. So our heart of our organization is actually puppy raisers. You know, the pictures, you know, we have baby Stryker at the bottom on the left, me and my one dog Echo, our puppy raising coordinator up top with the black dog, and that's Mike and Coop walking away on graduation day.
Huh.
You know, without puppy raisers, our organization would stop. Puppy raisers are people that commit to up to 2 years. I know it's a long time. And they are willing to train with our dogs, along with myself and our puppy raising coordinator, train with the dogs and get them ready for veterans. So without puppy raisers, for any service dog organization, there would not be an organization. So they're our heart and soul.
So can someone volunteer to do that as well, or they need
Yes.
to?
Yes.
Okay.
We are looking for puppy raisers now because we're looking to bring in 3 more puppies by the end of the summer. So we are doing interviews.
So, oh, you interviewed. Okay. I was going to say I might not pass the interview, but I would be interested in that.
And then, you know, the nice thing about our puppy raisers, you know, just as we donate everything to our veterans, we don't ask our puppy raisers to put any money out. All the supplies that they need, everything that they need, from food to anything else, is supplied to them. The biggest, most important thing for my puppy raisers to to do, in all honesty, is to follow through with the training and the homework that I give them every week.
I was gonna say, are there requirements that you have? And I mean, probably benchmarks that you look for and things like that for dogs to be ready to do certain things at certain times.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at all of the dogs on their vests that they have, there's different patches on there.
Ah,
Every patch that you would see on our service dogs, they've earned it. So it's kind of like a testing, we test our dogs usually every month and a half. We're kind of testing different things just to see their level of consistency and things like that. But the patches actually mean something on our vest. It's because that they've done something to actually earn it. That's Striker too.
Striker,
Nice
man.
day. Yeah.
So what are how many patches can a dog have? I honestly didn't know that. I didn't know. I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, yeah. When their vests are on, you'll be able to see different patches that they have. Technically, they come with two patches. One is Do Not Pet, and the other one is our Alpha Bravo Canine patch. But
Mhm.
the other patch that would be on their vest is something that they've earned.
That they can do.
The bragging rights, yes. Mhm.
Ah,
Yeah,
this looks like 5 strikers.
yeah. They're all brothers, actually.
Ah.
They're his younger brothers.
This is awesome. So everyone's gonna either want one, and you can't have one unless you're a veteran. Sorry. And somebody else just messaged about volunteering. So to raise puppies or to come into the facility and help out, you go to Alpha Bravo Canine website, which is alphabravocanine.org.
If
And
you go under the form section,
mhm.
there is all your forms are right in there, and
You can see this, right? Can you see this, what I'm
Mhm.
doing? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
So I
awesome.
mean, I'll briefly just talk about when a veteran comes to apply for a dog, our process is our veterans apply for a service dog. Once they have a completed application, then I send them off to behavioral health. We have someone who does our behavioral health applications because there's two different sides. It's not just the dog, it's the person and the dog. So we have behavioral health review their applications. They go over extensive, it's an extensive interview that they have to go through on that side to make sure that they're ready for a dog. If our behavior health approves it, then they would meet with me, and then Striker's usually here with me for all of our meet and greets. And then I find out about pretty much the lifestyle that they're living. What exactly do they need a service dog to do? And that's how we start.
Well, that's it. I mean, that's a lot of work and a lot goes into it. And,
Yeah.
So volunteers.
You definitely need volunteers
Okay, good.
and puppy raisers.
And puppy raisers.
Yes.
So I really might think about that. So I just made it so that everybody can unmute if they have any questions or would like to talk about anything. But do you have anything else that you wanted to add to that before I open it up officially?
No, I think I covered it.
I think you did too. Thank you for everything that you do. Absolutely. This is so neat. I really wish I knew about you before.
Well, we're here. We're not going anywhere, so it's good, right?
Well, I appreciate it. So anybody have any questions or comments or anything, you can unmute if you'd like and come on and chat. I'm trying to keep my eye on Facebook. So if I missed anything, you can yell at me. I'm trying to keep an eye. But anybody have any other questions or anything? Or did Jennifer cover it? I think you did. I think you did.
I have a question.
Sure, go ahead, Bill.
Oh, actually, I do have the question.
Go
Bill
ahead,
just
Linda.
spoke up faster. Are you aware of any other programs where they're training dogs for people who need service dogs who are not veterans?
Yes, there are a lot of organizations out there that would work with non-veterans. Yes.
Are
Yeah,
there any
so,
local?
I mean, there's an organization, I mean, it's called Assistance Dogs International. So the best place to start would be there, actually. That lists all of the organizations that are either candidates for accreditation or that are already accredited organizations. That's the very best place to start.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And how does an organization get accredited?
It is a multi-year process and there's a lot involved with it. There's a lot. You need to have a certain amount of dogs that are placed and have been working for at least a year, along with a lot of other requirements. They do an amazing job at vetting organizations.
That's what I was kind of getting at. So
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to know if you could really trust it. And so good. I'm glad that you
Yes.
good.
Yes. This is the place that I refer anybody that I'm not able to assist, because we do get a lot of civilian calls. This is where I refer them to.
Awesome. That's helpful because we
Yeah.
do too. Like I told you
Yeah.
earlier, we do too. Now, after you hear a presentation like this, you'd think that would be good for all of us who live with mental health conditions. But, you know,
Yeah.
it's the difference, I think, is in what you said in the beginning, some people could benefit from emotional support. Some people could benefit from a service dog and some people could benefit from a therapy dog. So,
Yeah.
it most likely doesn't cost quite as much to train other therapy dogs and emotional support animals, right?
Not at all. I mean, technically with ADA, you don't have to train an emotional support dog because they're just pets.
Okay,
To
gotcha.
train the dog, but the training is 100% different.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, maybe not everyone necessarily needs the level
Right.
of support that comes from a service dog.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
There has to be a disability there in order to even qualify.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Mhm.
Hi, Nick, I wonder if I could ask a quick question. We came in a little late and I hate to have you repeat what you said, but could you list quickly the three types of service dogs that are out there or that you train?
So we train PTSD service dogs. Earlier, I was talking about therapy dogs versus emotional support dogs, and then certified, regular certified service dogs. So emotional support dog is just a pet. It's just a companion dog. Therapy dogs are dogs that go and visit different facilities with their person, and it's something, there's training involved with that. Service dogs are specifically just for people with a disability that are trained to mitigate the disability and do task training. So dogs would work with, if somebody, for an example, somebody dropped things or they needed things picked up for them, fetching different items. And there's a ton of different things that you can actually train a service dog to do.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, Bill. I shared if you follow us on social media, I tagged Alpha Bravo Canine in it, but I shared a video from your participant, Mike. Mike and what's his dog's name?
Cooper.
Cooper.
Yeah.
And when it's his medication time and everything, the dog goes and gets the medication and everything, and it's pretty incredible. I mean, and you can imagine if you've ever had a dog and tried to train a dog yourself at home, what goes into you know, making sure that a dog provides services for, you know, a veteran. So
It's intense training.
I'm sure it's intense on you too. So, you know, thank you again for what you do. So anybody else have any other questions before we wrap up? And oh, Christina, I saw you on mute. Hi, Christina.
Hi,
I just wanted to
Christina.
Say hi. Hi, Jennifer. Just
How
wanted
you
to say
doing?
hi.
Great
I
to see you.
Nice to see you too. I just wanted to come on and support, some of my favorite people, NAMI and Alpha Bravo Canine.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
Jen-
you.
I actually used to volunteer for Jen's organization, and it's just a fantastic organization that helps out so many people. Jen and I were introduced when I was doing some work in Veterans Court down in Philadelphia, and I've been following along her progress ever since. And I'm so happy to see what a flourishing organization she has. And
Oh,
I'm so glad you guys have connected.
oh, thank you. We miss you too.
Oh, well, I'm still around, so
We miss you too.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
haven't seen ya.
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Glad to see you, Christina.
Nice to see you too.
See, so you're doing good things. You're doing great things. I'm glad we connected too. So
Thank you. Me too.
and thank you again, Lori, for making the connection. So this will be the first of many things that we'll do together. So
Looking forward to it.
I am as well. So you can look forward to seeing Stryker at the Stride. You have to promise. You have to promise
I'll
to
be
bring
there.
Stryker.
I'll be there.
We'll have you set up a table. You'll be at March for the 22, and I'm sure we'll think of other things to do together too. But
Definitely.
I just, in all that you do, thank you for taking the time to come out and talk to us tonight. And you never know if this helps just one person or one veteran connect with you and get a dog, then it was worth it. So
Definitely. It only takes one, right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you again, Jennifer.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. Thank you for
Absolutely.
having us and for everybody that came. to
Thank you
listen.
very much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody for coming, and we'll see you all soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
See you.